This video will show you how to use formatting tools when you are composing a post. So we'll follow up with the post that we left off with in posting articles. So we'll go over to the dashboard. You might recall I logged in as Sydney Soto when I did that. We'll click on Posts, All Posts, because in this case we're going to do an edit. So there's the draft that Sydney saved, and this draft only shows up for the person who created it. We're going to edit this draft, and we called it Selling a Coffee Table. What I've done the last time I wrote blah 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 to show you how you would where and how you would fill in the information about the coffee table. So I've written a few tips just to give you some advice. If you're selling something, think about what you would want to know if you were buying it. Certainly the dimensions, if it's a piece of furniture, the description, as much as you can tell somebody about it. You might want to say how old it is and what the original price you paid was, especially if you're selling it at a good price and want people to know they're getting a really good deal. Let them know when it's available for them to come and see it or pick it up. Certainly the sale price and whether or not the price is negotiable and whether you only take cash. All these things are entirely up to you. But all right, let's suppose all this information now is filled in. Let's take a look. We'll add media in a minute, and I'll mention contact form. But let's take a look at the writing tools, I call them. Notice that this icon is a toggle. If you click on that, you'll get more writing tools. Okay, so you can break up a lot of text by using paragraph headings. Regular text is just paragraph style. You can bold, you can italicize, you can make a list. This is a list. You'll notice it's indented. Now you don't see the bullets, but you will if you preview your post. And I suggest that as you go along and adding formatting to the text and adding pictures that you save it and preview it as you're working on it. All right, you can't see this, but this viewing, this preview that I'm looking at shows up as a tab in my browser. I'm going to close that and go back to writing this post. Okay, so I want to show you a few examples. Suppose you had a heading here and you wanted to, you could make it a heading. We can preview that. Okay, so you see it shows up, that's the formatting for that particular heading, which is heading 2. Let's go back to paragraph style for that, and let's say we want to make this bold and color it. So we select it, we click bold, we go down here and pick a text color, let's say red. What else might you want to do? You could insert a more tag. You do that sort of like you would by choosing headings to separate large chunks of text that you want to break up for readability. If you didn't do it by paragraph styles, you could insert a read more tag, and what that would do is give a click that the user could click on to view the rest of the writing on another page. It's just readability issues. You could, let's say this text had the name of the item and you bought it online and you want to include a link so that they could see much more online than you want to write here. So you would select the text, click the Insert Link button, and type in the address of the page that this item appears on. So, and you would have to, if you did that, let me select it again. If you did that, you would click here, Apply, in order to set the link, but we're not linking. So you can play around with this and see what you can do. What this is, this allows you to insert an avatar on the page. But if you'll notice, by going to a preview, this post by default, it's taking a while to come up here, this post by default will show a small icon and with your name. So I don't know when you'd want to add a larger icon, but that's up to you. Okay, now it's always nice to add pictures. So I'm going to put my cursor where I want to insert a photo. In this case, I've saved some photos of coffee tables off the internet to use as an example. Okay, here are 4 images of this coffee table. Let's suppose I am selling. Well, there's one picture. I can go back and add some more. But now we can, let me just select this and align it. Align it on the right. Now that didn't do us too much good because it's so wide that the description doesn't show up except for underneath of it. So if I want to, you notice once you've selected the picture and you have these little boxes on the corners, you can change the size. This way, as someone's reading the description, they can take a look at the image. Now we can go here and add more media, another view of the coffee table. Okay, and so forth. You can keep adding media. Suppose you wanted to allow someone to very easily get back in touch with you about this. You could say add contact form. And that what that does is inserts a basic form. Scroll down, I clicked it, so here it is, there's the form. The person would fill in their name and their email, and those are required fields because you wouldn't be able to communicate if the person didn't leave their email, their website, if they have one, and a message that they can leave with you. For example, saying, I'm very interested, when can I come over and see it, whatever, and a submit button. This is for what you're doing to give viewers of this post an easy way to get in touch with you. So that's for your buyer to fill in. You don't have to do that because the person could, we're going to be dealing with fellow tenants and they can just as easily write a comment under the post. So I can remove that contact form. You can play around with the rest of these icons and see what they allow you to do. This clears formatting, so let's just click on that. Apparently you have to select your text and then click the clear formatting. So if you had a lot of formatting in here, by selecting it all and clicking this, it will get rid of all of it so that you wouldn't have to go format by format and get rid of it. This is kind of neat. You can insert a special character. For example, suppose I wanted to put an M dash in here. This is what an M dash looks like. It kind of breaks up a thought. It really isn't applicable here, so I'm going to go back to what I had. But notice that, you know, there are fractions which look a lot nicer than typing a 1 and then a slash and then a 4 It actually views like a fraction. So you can look at all of these different, characters that you might want to insert. Trademark symbol, copyright, so forth. Okay, even some icons like a heart. All right, I'm just looking here to make sure I've covered just about everything. This should be a lot of fun. And if this isn't finished, again, save it. You can preview it, and then when it's ready to go live, you can publish it. And that's about it. In another video, I'll cover uploading media, because these images were already uploaded to Sydney's media library, and I took them from there. Okay, that's basically how to use these writing tools. Hope it helps.